Bitcoin hit overnight $81,000, and now it looks for the first time that we see here some sort of a correction. The big question is this the pullback that we were waiting for, or will Bitcoin find again the strength to push into higher levels? Don't miss out on that, and let's go. Hey guys, welcome back. So today no music because YouTube for some reason doesn't like the music. You know, I've licensed everything for it because it's royalty free, but they kept refusing then to pay me for the video, you know, so like the ad revenue or whatever, you know. So not that I need it, I send it always to my dad, but it's annoying, you know. I was like, okay, then no music today, also fine for me. Now, before we go into Bitcoin, let's have a quick look here at the DXY. The DXY looks to me here a little bit toppy in the current range, which is good because it just confirms that we have here also bearish structure. Here, high, lower high, potentially here another lower high. That means the DXY will roll over into the weekend and head here closer to 98 points. Does that mean that Bitcoin will immediately go back to the upside? No, I don't think so. In the best case scenario, Bitcoin would start moving sideways after that correction is completed wherever it's going to stop. Now, when we're going back here to the weekly chart, look where Bitcoin exactly went to and got rejected from. Here, that zone that I marked out, I think 2 days ago. Maybe I did it yesterday. I forgot. I think I have this on here like for 2 days already. So exactly to that resistance point and move down for there. Yeah, so move down from there. And we're currently below the $78,779,000 level. So as long as we are not reclaiming this, there will be no continuation, you know. So, and the reason why we are not going higher now is exactly what I mentioned yesterday. I said I don't expect us immediately to break here above this resistance here on the first attempt, you know, because we had here this big breakdown, here that retest, the first one, now the second one. Basically, it took like 3 months, you know, almost 3 months, 3.5 months to get a retest of that level. Highly unlikely that we, on the first retest after 3.5 months, immediately break above this again. So therefore, I was prepared for this. What I was not prepared for was that we actually would go here like to $81,000. I really did not see us going that high. So, but it happened, which is fine. You know, so here on the daily chart, you see the same thing. Here, the resistance zone is exactly from where we get currently rejected. We put in here now an ugly shooting star candle on the daily chart. So if this closes the way that it is, tomorrow will be the proper drop happening. So this might be just here a small taste of it, and then tomorrow you get the proper pullback candle. So then the question is, when tomorrow that candle is actually happening, depending on how low we go, will that be it? You know, will that be it? And will we then just start consolidate a little bit and then straight go back up? Or do we gonna see another move to the downside and do it from there and reverse back? In any case, what I can tell you is that I see next week Bitcoin definitely going slightly back to the upside. Doesn't mean that we go back to $80,000, but wherever we're gonna land now in this small pullback, from there we will definitely see higher prices in the upcoming week. I don't think we need to talk about this here. So this here is another thing. Here also you can clearly see how far we overshot here to $81,230 basically. So yeah, my worst case scenario would have been that we reach actually here $86,000. So it was highly unlikely that bulls would be able to push into that level because of all these sell orders that would have been there on the way up. But I was already like on the edge, you know. I was like on the edge. I was like, maybe they go really crazy when they go here over that resistance, you know, and create like this insane wick here into this resistance line, and then it comes back down. So the big problem that we are seeing right now with that correction, that upcoming correction here is that because it was such a violent move to the upside, the correction should normally reflect that too on the way down. So we need now to see if that will be like a mild correction or actually a violent one. And we're gonna find out once we're losing here on the 4-hourly chart, the 13 moving average. Because as of now, this is what is still holding price afloat at the current levels. You know, you see here, we got here a small bounce from the current 4-hourly candle. And when we're breaking below this, then we're gonna see the acceleration of this correction. And then we're gonna find out really, really fast where we are heading to. So now you see here again on my other screen, the market participants, they are selling like crazy. They really try to push it below a key support level. There was prior resistance. So it's not over here. I'm going to show you this here in a moment. So, but what I want to talk first about is I warned you guys about this for the last couple of days already, that there are bearish divergences forming across the board. They started on a 30 minutes chart, spilled over into the 1-hourly chart, and now clearly visible here on the 4-hourly chart too. But the bearish divergence has not even played out yet. So why? Because for a bearish divergence to play out, the RSI need to take a deep dive. That's usually what happens when you see bearish divergence playing out. Hasn't happened yet. You know, so therefore, I lean to here again to that level around $78,600, $500. If I go a little bit lower, $78,400. Once we lose here this support range, we should get that accelerated move and the bearish divergence playing out here in full swing. So and currently exactly that level is what is preventing Bitcoin from falling lower. You know, if bulls cannot defend this, and I don't think they can because it's like too close to the current high that we put in, then that we have to go below this. You know, so then we're gonna find out how low. So then the next thing that I want to show you here is what I mentioned yesterday. So this looks now exactly what I was fearing that it might be happening, and basically led to this bigger move past $80,000. Is that we are maybe seeing here the start of like that head and shoulders pattern that I talked yesterday about. So the only thing that I'm looking at here is maybe the neckline is up here and not all the way down there. You know, so it doesn't really make a huge difference price-wise. We're talking here about $700, like basically a percent. You know, a percent difference doesn't make a huge difference. So let's be conservative here. Let's say here's the neckline. If it breaks down, it gives you a target here for this correction to $72,000. So now, once the right side is complete, the head is completed, and we came here to the neckline to $76,700, and we get here a small bounce to the upside, you're gonna see everybody else will start talk about this, you know, about this head and shoulders pattern. Right now, you don't see anybody really calling for it. So you heard it here first, but then you're gonna see everybody else jumping on that bandwagon. The thing with this is then when everybody starts seeing what I'm seeing here already potentially, that then the target down here could be front run, you know. So, and what I mean by that is it will not reach it, you know, it will potentially bounce back around $73,000, which I am also basically mentioning here for so many days already as like the key target to the downside when we're going down. There is right now a low probability to scenario where Bitcoin could go sub $69,000 briefly, but immediately snap back to the upside. I'm not really seeing this right now, but I want to put it out there that there is a low probability scenario right now where this could be happening because we went so extremely high so fast. So again, when you get a violent move to the upside, it is normally mirrored by a violent move to the downside, which we have not experienced yet. You know, so what we see here today, that move here to the downside from 81 to now 78,700, this is a slow, mild move to the downside. You know, you did not see here any bearish engulfing like this. You know, so and this is what you would expect at some point, but it looks like that we need to break key support now. There was key resistance on the way up. to trigger such a move. When we're looking then at the VPVR, also here the VPVR gives you a clear picture where the next bigger area of support is, and that's here in the most recent traded area around $77,200. So another 2% to the downside would be absolutely not surprising to see this here, even unfolding today, especially when we're losing here $78,400, which is the line in the sand right now that is holding price currently in this range. So here you can see already that the price is also currently trapped because of this volume bar over here. And this is like the range, you know, that Bitcoin is moving in for now. So this is here $78,400 to like $79,000 approximately. So that is like also, what is this? Okay, it's like a 1% range. You know, also it's a tiny range where price gets compressed right now and eventually it will snap, you know, in either direction. So, but I don't only want to talk about now the short-term bearishness. I also want to talk about what's happening behind the scenes where not a lot of people right now pay attention to. And where this original move to the upside, or half of it, I would say, half of it was fueled by. So, and I have mentioned it briefly once. It is fueled by, here, what is his name again? I think it's John Besant. I forgot his first name. So, but here, let's call him Mr. Besant. So he is going to buy $1 trillion worth of treasury bonds to prop up the bond market. So now, where will that money go? So there's like many people that are saying, oh yeah, this, the money printer is coming back on. No, the money printer is actually not coming back on. There is something similar happening, like money printing, when they are buying these bonds back. So what is happening is they're buying bonds back from private companies that are holding these bonds right now. So then the question is, what will happen with that money that these private companies get? Technically, because they're selling bonds back to the US, it is a taxable event, as far as I know. They don't want to pay taxes on their gains. So what they're going to do with that money, they reinvest it so that they don't have to pay immediately tax on that. So when they reinvest it, guess where they're going to reinvest it? Most of the money will go back into the stock market, into gold, also into Bitcoin, because there's so many companies out there that want now to have Bitcoin on their balance sheet. So it will go across the board in all the risk assets that get propped up by an event like that, where the US comes and says, hey, we're going to inject $1 trillion into the bond market to prop up the bond market, that we don't have like a 2008 scenario here once again, and that money that they're using to buy back, you know, so it's then has to go somewhere, you know, so, and it will go back into the financial markets to prop them up too then at the same time. So here on the 30 minutes chart, the underlying support down here is the first target that I see here for us coming up really, really soon. So, and this is here $77,700 to $77,400 approximately. That was the level that held Bitcoin yesterday below $78,000 and prevented it from going basically to $80,000 for quite a while. Look at this here. So this was going on since Friday. So 5 days basically. 5 days Bitcoin was fighting to get above this level properly, while this was acting as resistance. So now that we are above this, this becomes a target to the downside, to retest this and reconfirm this as support now. So again, do I believe that this is going to hold? I don't think so. I think we're going to break below that. Then on the stop loss levels, also here we have targets to the downside, we have targets to the upside, but the upside target does not look so likely right now that we go straight back up here to $81,400 unless there would be like a major catalyst. You know, we need like a huge catalyst where, again, the US government, Trump, whoever comes out, you know, and makes like a super bullish statement, then you will see something like that. You know, then a move back to the upside. Otherwise, here you have other levels now, $76,400 and $75,300. I think these are high probability targets that we're gonna hit here in the next 48 hours. Even though there might be a short-term bearish retest of here some higher levels because of these two candles right now. We are putting in here, as I speak, a tweezer bottom on the 1 hourly chart. So if this candle is not moving higher here, that green candle, and stays more or less where it is a tweezer bottom, you know. So now we need to see if bears can defend and basically turn this candle around to the downside, because I see here in the order book on my other chart and my other display, major sell orders here running through Binance and OKX, but also buy orders at the same time. You know, it's like one big wave red, then it's like a small wave green again, and then price is not going anywhere. So we have to wait here still a little bit. So I know that I said yesterday I would not short, but the setup that I saw earlier, it was too good, you know, too good to not actually start a short. And that's why here on AlphaX, I went short. Now I'm up here $140 on that short with the Telegram community. I gave them the signal too. So some of them got in, some did not get in. That's absolutely fine. I know it was really quick and you had to be basically on your phone, you know, while I was sending the signal. So I want to mention this here on the channel again. The same thing that I mentioned in Telegram. I will try to set up more signals where we have like at least 30 minutes to an hour to position ourselves, you know, to set the limit orders and everything. Best case, even 2 hours. You know, it can sometimes be even like a day or two, you know, so but like best case scenario, on the lower end, you have at least like 30 minutes to an hour to see the signal before we gonna get here trigger on this, you know, and this was basically here on the fly where you had to get in. So again, if you want to be part here of that Telegram community, there is a link in the description and a pinned comment below, where you just need to go through the verification bot and have at least $100 on your AlphaX account after you signed up with my link, and then you can get access to that, you know. So we are making your money every single day. And I want to mention here once again, on AlphaX, we did not lose a single trade. In next week, exactly in a week from now, it will be 2 months. In 2 months, not one trade did we lose here. Every single trade made money. So I just want that you guys keep that in mind. So when we're looking then at the liquidation heat map, it also draws a really clear picture what's coming next. You see here, there's almost no liquidity above us anymore that has built up over the last week. There's here just a little bit where we scratched on when we went to $81,200 at $81,400 and $82,000. But here below us, there's so much more, you know, where I can go to. And you see here the bottom of it, if we would reach the bottom of it, sorry guys, it would be $73,300. Again, we don't have to go that low, but it's like the writing is on the wall, you know. Every single chart, every single thing that I'm looking at is pointing to $73,000. And there's another thing that I want to mention here, because I should have mentioned it in the beginning of the stream. I will take in a moment a chart, and we're gonna draw together here live the key support levels based on just the candlesticks, you know. So I will not use anything else. Just on the candlesticks, we go on a daily chart and draw major support levels that Bitcoin will hit here or will have as potential targets to the downside in this corrective move. And we can also have some upside levels too at the same time. So now when we look here at the liquidation levels, here my own indicator that I built, 30 minutes chart below EMA ribbon. Another reason why I'm telling you guys that small move here to the upside is just a bearish retest. Even if we get slightly above the EMA ribbon, you know, and briefly back here close to $80,000, it looks to me like a bearish retest, you know, so of this whole bearish move. And then you see here that we're going down. And look at this. We did not even take any long positions out here to the downside yet. You know, here's so much long liquidity that is untapped for now that you just know where we are going to, you know, because above us, there's look, what is above us? That's it, you know, that's it. So, and these are all low leveraged positions. You know, there's not as much as liquidity to grab than what is below us and has built up below us. Therefore, down before we go back up. So, and trust me, I want up, you know, I'm like the biggest guy here that wants that we go up, you know, so, but we need to come down first, you know, so that's what I'm seeing here. Let me now get here a chart that we can chart on for these levels. And also here, oh, just before I do that, want to mention this here quickly. Now, in a long time, for the first time, you see the 200 moving average going back up here. Really, really bullish for us. That you see the 200 moving average curling back to the upside. So when we're going then here to the 100, look at that. Tomorrow, golden cross. So, but that doesn't mean that we will stay at the current price levels just because we get the golden cross, because remember, the golden cross usually comes in delayed after price moved already. You know, price moved here already. So, and then we still have the 200 moving average golden cross coming up, but later. You know, so this will here now with the 200 curling to the upside, this will be happening, in my opinion, somewhere in the first week of September, or even by the end of the first week, closer to the start of the second week, basically. Somewhere around that. Now, let me get here. If they don't have a Mika license, get a VPN. You know, it's really that easy. You can even use, what is that? Like NordVPN even works with that. So I need to, come on. I hate when TradingView is doing this. So. Now. Let's get any chart. So that's from last year. Can definitely use that. Yeah. So look at this. There's already like the first level. I don't need to draw it. It's already there. You know, like there's like two out of 3 levels that I can already leave as they are. You saw it yourself. You know, when I went and searched for a chart, 30th of October is the last time that I touched this chart. And look at the levels. You know, you cannot make this up. You know. So here, the only thing that I would do, actually all the 3 levels are fine. So that is now another level, 66,600. And then here, after that move, yeah, 75,400. And I would say this is like a tiny one, potentially. I need to see that on a 4-hourly chart, actually. Let's see here. Yeah, so but I want to make that more like a tiny one. So this is fine. This here is the one. It's like a maybe thing. So that, let me call it like that. So this would be like the line in the sand for me. You know, here, that white dotted line. You know, so if we would lose that white dotted line and we go below $70,000, and then we don't see a really quick reversal back to at least $72,000, $73,000, then this was just a massive, massive, massive bear rally. So, but it doesn't look like it. You know, it doesn't look like it for now, but time will tell. Time will tell. Transylvania. Oh, I did not have somebody a long time from Transylvania. Transylvania. That's crazy, man. So let's have a look here. So Bitcoin keeps rolling over here, which is good for my short. You know, now it's 250. Remember, it was 150 when I showed it to you. 250. I will set like a stop loss and profit here, but not now. Here, and look at this nice rejection. So now we are below one of the key levels that was previously acting as support. Acceleration. Look at this. I see it also in the order book. There is acceleration happening now because we have broken now below that level that I was just talking about. So yeah, see that yellow line? That could be the start of the bearish divergence to play out here. But only if there's more follow through. So there cannot be now happening a bounce where we get above that line again. They need to push harder and further down. Which it looks like they're going to do here right now. I want to remind you guys, if I actually short in a market like this, it will be, and it's gonna stay like that, a really, really rare occasion when I'm gonna do that. So I must be like super, super, super sure about this, you know, when I'm gonna do it. Here, look at this. Oh, this is going down here now. Amazing. Let's put this here on like a 1 minute chart, that you see that better. Look at this. I was waiting for this, so it's still not where I want this to be. But yeah, here a small move back up is normal. So best case, what I want to see now, small retest, continuation. Could be here some chop around this, but then continuation. So you don't want to see now a reclaim. And guys, 67 people here. Would be great if you can smash up the like button, that we get more people in. Because I see over the last couple of days, overall, I'm not mad at the views that I get on the stream, you know, so, but they look like they're kind of going down a little bit, you know, so we need to get them up. You know, we need more likes here on the live stream for this. So while Bitcoin is going down, we're going to have a quick look here on Ethereum. What did I tell you guys yesterday? Did I not say here, if Ethereum cannot manage to get above this high here while Bitcoin is pumping to $81,000, it will be a bearish sign for the market overall? Because Ethereum is like, how should I explain this? It's like, I tried to find like a comparison. It's like the premonition, you know, the premonition of what's going to happen with the market, you know. So if Ethereum is not going higher and Bitcoin is pumping, you know something is wrong in the market, you know. So you know when you have like a gut feeling and you think like, oh, this is actually like, you think in your mind it's good, but your gut is telling no, you know. So this is basically what Ethereum is doing in terms of Bitcoin, you know. So Bitcoin goes higher, everybody thinks like, oh, great, but then you look at Ethereum, it's not moving higher, and then you know like, oh, something is like broken, you know, it's not good. So, and yeah, that's why I warned about this yesterday and said like, we should not be here now looking for longs, you know. So even though Bitcoin went higher, you could have made money longing Bitcoin all the way up, you know. So, but here on Ethereum, I called it yesterday, you know. So I said, if Ethereum is not breaking higher, while Bitcoin is going higher, be careful with the whole market, you know. So now you see what I meant. So and there, Bitcoin is already reversing back like to the lowest there was here. See, yeah. So there's another level. So, shit. No, that's not what I want. I wanted that line. So there. Look at this here. Bears are defending now the lower end of that former support. Clean rejection candle from there to the downside. Yeah. Yeah, I know that I did say that. You know, I have a really good memory in general. You know, so there's like stuff people told me 10 years ago. I still know what they told me. You know, so that I'm most of the time, I'm sometimes wrong, but most of the time I'm not wrong with the things that I remember. You know, so and especially if it was just yesterday. So therefore, what you need to watch here for Ethereum, I remain here with the same target that I said before. $2,200, $2,100 is here for me the imminent target. So 1 second, there is one second, I need to do quickly something. Okay, so let Bitcoin go lower here. At the same time, hype is still holding up strong. You know, it's crazy to me how this is so strong here. But remember, I also told you guys, it is one of the strongest coins out there right now, and their Bitcoin tries to move even lower. So soon, my account will finally sit at $4,000. Oh, and is there more acceleration coming? A little bit. Come on, push it to 4,000. There, I'm $25 away from $4,000 on this account. Finally, 14. Took a long time. $5, come on. There, we made it, guys. Congratulations if you traded all the trades with me together. Our trading account, the challenge account, is sitting officially over $4,000 now. Okay, there's a small bounce, briefly at least, briefly. So, but I think later we can get like a really nice full confirmation on that. Sorry. So then I'm gonna go back here to this. So let's have a look here. Actually, I want to also go here to the daily chart to show you why these are like key levels that I'm looking at. You can also draw fib lines. You know, you can also drip here, draw fib lines. Look at this. Here, Fibonacci retracement, golden ratio, 2,100, 2,000, yeah, basically $2,100. You know, so that's why I was telling you guys all the time, even without looking at this, 2,100, 2,200 is like the zone, you know, where you want to build new longs when this is coming down now. So, and I can show this for you like across all major coins right now. And I actually have to do this still on Bitcoin for you guys. I did it earlier for myself. So here, this is now major buy zone. So, and then center. That's where you want to get in when we go down. So I might do something here across the board with some coins. Oh wow, their 78 is about to break. Let me know, guys, in the chat, should we watch Bitcoin price action here a little bit further because this is starting to break him majorly down, or should I on the side always eyeing it and keep going with altcoins right now? Let me know in the chat. What do you prefer? Let me know. Most important thing that you make money. You know, it does not matter always how much money you make. Most important is that you actually make money. My neighbor's burning again something. That's always the most important thing. Yeah, let me know. Here's 61 people. Let me know. Not only 3 people. You know, like I need like at least 8, 9. There already more people want Bitcoin. No, I'm still watching it here on the other chart, on the other display. You know, at any given moment. You know, you maybe see that I'm like here on my main chart doing stuff, but one eye is always wandering to the other side. You know, and checking what's happening there. Again, it would be fine for me. You know, it can go back up here a little bit and go back into this area here, but it's just a bearish retest. You know, and then it will continue to go lower. So just a quick check over there. Come on, turn around again. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, so we go back up most likely to the former support level for a bearish retest. Let's see what's going to happen with that. So while Bitcoin is doing that, again, I have an eye on it at any given moment. Let's go back here to altcoins. So here for Hyperliquid, if I pull here, Fibonacci, $67, $68 would be here a potential target to the downside. I think unless Bitcoin is going to $73,000, we will not get there. You know, so if Bitcoin bounces at 75, 74, then I think here it will be somewhere in between $72 and $73 for Hyperliquid, because Hyperliquid has so much strength in it in general right now that I don't see here like almost like a 20% move to the downside right now for Hyperliquid. I would not that I did not do this in the past, but I would be really, really surprised. So let's see other coins. Let's go into some other coins. So did I not call here injective to break out from that trend line? Went up. Also looks really toppy here. This will come back to trend line. There's here that little bit of support, but let's see what the golden ratio says about this here. Yeah, close to trend line, $4.75. It's like also like a 20% move from the top, 22. So if Bitcoin goes down 5-6%, a coin like that will come down here. In the worst case, 22%. But there's another level closer to 0.382. I would be also watching. So there, obviously, here's a level, but also slightly below this. Like here, this one. So here, that is your levels. These are your levels where you want to ladder in when it comes down. Starting from 525 all the way down to 475. And you need, of course, then go and allocate accordingly your limit orders. You know, I'm gonna show you a small trick how I do that. You know, because I'm not what many people do. What I'm not doing is they do like an inverted pyramid in terms of their limit orders. So they have let this be here, this level. They go here. So I want to make sure that I'm there already have like a really, really good position, you know, at this level. So I go in with like 35%. Sorry, my drawing skills here with the mouse are not immaculate. I'm doing my best. So then here on the next level, down here, like, I want to add here another 25%, so that my entry from up there is getting averaged pretty much well a little bit down there. So then we hit $5, they add another 15. So now you're already in this trade with like 75%. So then we go briefly below that, they add here another 15. So but now what happens is, so now you have here like 90% allocated, and when we get finally down here, that's where they just add the last 10% that they have. So this is not a good way to dollar cost average into a position. So why? Because if you do that, you basically go from allocating really early, really heavy to almost nothing at the lowest level where you want normally to allocate the most. So what does this do with your average entry price? So let's say your average entry here in this scenario, because you went with 75% in from like 5.25 to $5 basically, your entry will be somewhere like at I would say like 5.17. 5.17. So here on this whole pyramid. But the, okay, let it be 5.12. I would say 5.12 maybe. 5.12. So, but prices now at $4 at 75. So what is the problem with this? So you need 10% only to get back to break even. So that is bad, you know, like you miss already like a massive part of the upside when it goes back, you know, when it goes back up. So not that it is like an issue, you know, but you give money away that you could have already made, you know, in that 10%. So this is the wrong way to go about this. So now I'm going to show you the right way to do this. And that's the same way how I do this with all my positions. Now for a while already. You do it the other way around. So here, there, wow. You only go with 10%. And the lower we go, the more you add. You know, so then here, let's say at 5.15, you add 15%. Or another 10. Let's do another 10 here. So if it hits $5 or briefly below that, here you do now 25%. And then if it goes to 4.75, you add there another 35%. So now look what happens. So now you allocated 80%, you're still 20% on the side. You leave it on the side, just in case if it goes lower than 4.75, you can still add more if you want to. You still have 20% to add more to this. Or if it starts now going up, you can add $5 when it breaks above $5, there add the other 20%. You have two options how you can play this, but you have still money on the side, you know. So and your average entry will be not like $5.12 like with the inverted pyramid. This will be closer to $5 because you went heavy around $5 here with 60% of your whole amount that you wanted to allocate into the position. So and this is how you get the, not always the best, but like a really, really good overall entry on like a position that you are building, you know. So and sometimes what happens, I'm also not going to sugarcoat that, sometimes what happens is you only get to 45% of that pyramid, you know, to fill your orders, and then the market turns around, you know, and then you have still 55% that you want to allocate that are now sidelined. But that's also fine because on the next pullback, you can then add the other 55% to it that you had now left on the side, you know, that were not allocated. So, but this is in general how I go about positions, especially with altcoins right now. You know, so you can use whatever percentage numbers you want on this. This is just how I do it personally, and it works pretty well. You know, so at least for me. You know, so but it's also a lot of experience that comes with that. So let's go into the next one. So Coty crazy yesterday retraced almost the whole move that it made in one single candle. So here, on the other hand, this, at least on a 4-hourly chart, it's not looking all too shabby, but on a daily chart. So here on a daily chart, I would potentially not even look for a lower entry, you know, where I could buy low on Coty. I would just watch this downward sloping trend line. You know, let it break this trend line. When it breaks the trend line, you get in. You know, so I would not now look here to get in like at 9 cents or something like that. You know, so because Coty for now, it is a little bit shaky. You know, I've seen many times where Coty, especially last year, where Coty should have gone higher, based on what I saw in the chart, and it just keep dropping, you know, like dropping. And you don't want to end up in that same situation, you know, that I was in last year. So here, key resistance, this downward sloping trend line is what I would be watching on a daily. When that breaks on like a 4-hourly chart, that is where I would get, or even on an hourly chart, I would actually say 4-hourly chart. When this breaks on a 4-hourly chart, closes one candle hour above that, that's where I would start building a position around this. Now to the upside. Then Lido also went up on the daily. So here. So remember what I also mentioned yesterday. Yesterday I said, look where all these coins are. They're all sitting at key resistance. Yeah. They all went into these key resistance areas and got rejected from there. Every single one. Now, come on. Let me change the color. So and then what you do now, the same kind of obvious key resistance above us, you look like for the obvious key support below us. So right now, for example, for Lido, this is down there. At 33 cents, 35 cents-ish. So that's at least a 5% move to the downside. So, but this is like just one support level. I think if Bitcoin makes here a proper move to the downside with a bearish divergence, you're gonna see rather closer to 30 cents than anything else. 28, yeah, 28, 30 cents. That is like more of a target that I see here. But you can start nibbling here in that area just in case. Again, that is just a short-lived and a really fuck, now it's in my mind. Shallow drop. That was the word that I was looking for. Shallow drop. And it does this, you know. So that's why if you want to get into Lido, buy here a little bit, not a lot, you know, and then you wait. So if it goes up, fine, you're already in a position. If it goes lower, even better, you know, and there you load up big time. So then, no, not comp, here Zcash. So remember, Zcash, what did I tell you guys? Said if it goes here up, here, I called yesterday the top for it. I said, I think it topped out there and had here the green box moved up a little bit. And that green box remains here now, short-term target for a pullback. So I see here that we could move a little bit lower than that too. So that's why I would also not allocate the full amount for like a new Zcash position in that green box, because you have here a big imbalance in this candle here. So again, I don't really think that we're gonna see this. Let me make this here like baby bluish. I don't think that we're gonna see here a move back to like $590. You know, so that would be a really big move now to the downside, even from current price. You know, it's like a 27% move. I don't think that we would move now 27%. You know, so but could it go at least to the top side of this imbalance, like here, like 690? Yeah. So that's like 15%, 10-15% from the current price down. Yeah, I definitely can see that happening. Yeah, exactly. So it moves always hard, you know. So and also you should not ignore that here underlying support is at 580. You know, so that is the last major support. You know, you have here a little bit at 590. So that's why I'm saying like 690. You know, could be the level, and it's the top side of that imbalance where we could see the reversal happening already, you know. So, but if it gets a little bit more volatile, then you could see here a wick to fill that whole imbalance before it turns back up. Again, I'm not banking on that fact, but I will be careful in laddering into a position here around the green box. You know, I'm not going like all in with the money that I want to allocate for a position directly there. And Solana was above $100 here, but again, look at this. Resistance area, bam, rejected. with a really ugly daily bearish candle right now. So tomorrow, what you're going to see, move down closer to $90. Actually, Solana might be one of the coins that I might look at shorting. But let's see what's happening here over the next coming hours, because shorter time frames again, they look like they don't want to push. They want to push one more time, potentially, before the daily close happens, and then it rolls over again. So where is Bitcoin at? Almost at 79. Oh, it actually went above this. So then, oh. So this is the other thing, guys. You know, I don't really care. And we are above 79 again, almost above 79, because there's more resistance. Yeah, like 79,400, then 79,700 from where I went actually short. This is all resistance now. If it reverses here back to the upside. And again, I see this as bearish retests before it gets like a bigger move down. So because I just want to show this really quickly again. Maybe on another one. Let me see which one I'm gonna do that. Okay, actually gonna do it here. So look at the 12 hourly, for example. The RSI is slightly turning around here. The stochastic looks really ugly in the area that we are in for it. You know, so being slightly below 100% and then looking like this, like it can fall off a cliff here any moment. Really, really bad sign, you know, overall, regardless of what the price is doing. And also the MACD is losing here slowly but steady momentum. So here, like in 36 hours, this will make here a bearish crossover, potentially. You know, if then that correction is not completely done, then we're gonna see a bearish crossover. Otherwise, you're gonna see a bounce. The blue line will bounce off the orange line, and then it will turn around and print another wave of green candles here on that histogram. So that's actually what I'm personally banking on to see here. Then on the daily chart, also here, just that we got here almost a buy signal for today, does not say that we're going to get it. If price closes the daily candle as it is, this is a topping candle. You know, it's like a massive topping candle, and you see it for the first time also that the MACD is losing momentum, and the RSI also slightly rolling over here. And then you have like still all these bearish divergences here across the board, you know, on the 4 hourly, on the hourly, and so on and so on. So let me go back here to altcoins. So like I said, Solana, I think here $83 is reasonable. There it comes back to $83, $87 in that move to the downside, because here 83, again, there's massive support down here. So if we get to 83, that's where I would slap like 30% of like my money on it for like a new long position. And then that's what we have here. Near also looks like that's pulling back here. But this might also not go like $1.72. Here again, so $1.78. I think we'll go below $1.78. $1.68 to $1.78 is what I would be looking at. So I want to give this a little bit more distinction here. That, yeah, so that is like the zone that I would be looking at building a position in. Maybe I'm 10% at $1.85, you know, and then I would keep allocating the lower we had here into this area before it goes back up. Oh, Bitcoin looks toppy on the 1 minute again. Looks like it's running out of steam here. So what I also see here with Bitcoin, just quick again. I want a 1 minute chart here somewhere. Let me see. What do I use here now for a 1 minute chart? Quick. And it should be fine. So 1 minute chart. So what do you see on a 1 minute chart? So there's a clear, not only downward sloping trend line that is establishing itself right now. So that's like one thing. That's like the obvious thing that everybody's looking at. I'm not looking at this. So what I'm looking at is here, overall lower highs. And every time when the price tries to go back up right now, come on, go away. It fails. It fails to take out that high here. See here, currently Bitcoin went up here to get to this high, failed. This high we tried to take out with this move, failed. After that drop, here, failed. Here, this, slow down, tried again to come up, failed. Every single time. You only see here failures of previous highs to be taken out. So that is always a sign for more continuation to the downside eventually. So let me get this here back to how it was. So yeah, great. So near. Then what else do we have down here? Oh, we have Arweave. Let's see, how did Arweave do here over the last couple of days? That is not the Arweave chart that I had, but it's fine. So, yeah, but you see across the board, you can draw the same box, of resistance. Here, look at this. So it is really, really good that you draw these kind of zones here for yourselves, because that will tell you when we are properly going back into a massive, massive uptrend across the board. It is not limited to Bitcoin. This is like for all coins. When they break above that zone, and you see now the majority of all coins is getting rejected from that resistance area, which looks almost the same price-wise, here, this kind of W pattern. When we get above that, we're good to go. And then actually, when you see that we move above this, it does not matter in this initial move where you long it. If you do it here, if you do it there, as long as you don't use like 50x leverage, and you do like 5 to 10, it does not matter, so on that first move where you long it. You just don't want to long it after that initial move and the price is already here, so then I would not go like with 10x on that, unless blindly, I want to say blindly, so like in the first move you could blindly go in at any level, with like 5, 10x. After that, if price is up here, you cannot do it blindly anymore. Then you need to look again where you want to position yourself with. So, but to the downside for Arweave, once it's get here also into a corrective move, $2.07 it's like an 8% move, 9% move, 8. It's like 8% move to the downside. I think it's a little bit too shallow. But like here, this like $1.96 to $2.07, yeah, that looks good. That would be my zone where I would be looking to long this from. So then let's have a look at XRP and also TRX again. So where is here XRP? Oh, and also here Monero actually. Monero could be one of the few coins that will break out as one of the first ones above this whole area here, where all other coins are struggling with. You know, Monero is a little bit like special in that sense every single time. Because look here, well, everything is struggling to even hold this area. You know, Monero tries to break out of it. The only problem is there's not a lot of exchanges anymore where you can actually trade Monero on leverage. Let me actually see it. Can I do this? Can I do this there? Yeah, for example, on Hyperliquid, you can, for example, still trade Monero. So let me see, can I do this on some other ones? Let me see. I'm not sure, but it looks like on Binance you can also do it. And I think on BYBIT too, really? I want to check this quick. Can I still trade Monero on futures on BYBIT? Did they not remove it? I thought they removed it. Oh no, I can still trade on BYBIT. Yeah, amazing. So I can still do this on BYBIT, so I don't need Hyperliquid for that. So yeah, so if you want to trade Monero, do it on BYBIT. You can still trade leverage Monero on BYBIT. So in here, for Monero, if it breaks here now above this area, so first of all, I want to show you down here something else. So basically from, yeah, but the other way around. So look where Monero is sitting at right now. Tries to break above the 0.382. And if it gets above this, the next target is your $600. And look how quickly Monero did this the last time when it got here properly above this. It was like in 3 days. You know, like in 3 days it went up there. So, and there's still a little bit, there's a little bit of strength left and momentum left that it actually can push up there. See on the 12 hourly, not so much anymore. On the 4 hourly, maybe on the, yeah, on the hourly. Will be from the lower time frames again, 15, 30 minute and 1 hourly, that will keep pushing it if it keeps going. So if I would enter, for example, now a position here, I would not do more leverage than like 10x. I would have like a hard stop loss on this, you know. So, and you know me, I rarely have a hard stop loss on anything, but here I would have one. I would have one here like if I trade with 10x, I would need to have one like 2%. You know, like I lose 20%, but I could make on like a 10x leverage trade to $600. I could make 30, yeah, let it be 35%. You know, I could make 350% against losing 20%. You know, so that is a really good deal that I would get into here. You know, on a trade like that. So I'm actually surprised that this was slipping my mind for such a long time. Also BNB, something that we should have a look at. That is having a topping candle right now in that area here. And it looks more like it gets rejected. And then where it's going to here, 10% is what I see here. 10% down, back up for BNB. And then where did XRP go? Or SXP already had delisted. Crazy. Ah, there's XRP. So yeah, what did I tell you guys the other day? I said here, watch this resistance line. If it gets above that, it's going to send to $2. It went here to $1.70 to scam everybody. Then it goes to $2 and came straight back down. So now we are properly below that line of $1.50. So the next time when it comes up to that line, it's going to break it and then going to send to $2. So now to the downside, what you're looking at to get in here, the first level would be $1.36 and then all the way down to like $1.20, where I would look for dollar cost averaging into a long position. I'm gonna quick look at Pepper. Somebody said earlier Pepper. I did not forget, I saw it. But you guys know me, I'm not a huge meme coin guy. So let's look here. So here everything, yeah. I left everything as it was last time, and I didn't move anything. It went exactly to the top that I had drawn out here in that resistance zone, it's coming back down, and it's getting closer to the buy zone that I have here, that green box, and even here the golden ratio. You know, so these are the levels where you want to add or open a new position for it. So any other coins that I should have a look at? So I have to check quick something else here in the meantime. Yeah, so there. Okay, so there was just that, and here. Do I what? She's okay. That's funny. Okay, so let's go back here to the charts. Guys, come on, smash up the like button. Let's get more people in here. So I'm gonna actually check now. I did not check before. Let's see. Where? There. Well, let's see here. How many do we have right now? 46. Okay, actually not that bad. Let's see. I don't know if everyone that's here right now already liked. So, but if the other 57 that are here right now can like, and we get it like to 100, that would be amazing. That would definitely push more people. No idea what Morpho is, and VVV, that doesn't sound like crypto. You know, let's stick to crypto here, guys. For now. I know VVV is definitely not crypto. Oh.
Luck is not random.
Oh, oops, sorry guys. So let's see. Yeah, so I think that's just a scam candle. And we're seeing here on Bitcoin right now. To the upside. See, 15 minutes. Yeah, but it's basically defending this support line here. So at the moment that we're breaking below that, it will fall really quickly. And you look at this here, the stochastic, I can tell you, even if it goes back to my entry to $79,700, it will get rejected because the stochastic will run out of momentum and roll over. And if 30 minutes shortly afterwards too, the 1 hourly at this point will be here, and then you're gonna see it turning down like this. Because the 4 hourly remains bearish, you know, the chart. Even though with a candle like this right now. Actually, let me show you what happened last time when you had here the MACD printing here a continuation on the bearish side. Let me see where we can find this. Where it was red and then red again. Maybe here. Let me see. Not exactly what I'm looking for. Kinda what I'm looking for. Let's see. Yeah. So look at this here. And I try to dissect this here a little bit. So look here. Initially, price came down while MACD turned bearish. Then there were like 2-3 green candles which pushed it back up almost to the top, to that high here. But then it got continuation, bearish continuation, and went lower before it went then back up into the top. This is what I'm thinking about, what's going to happen here with Bitcoin right now. Because of that bearish continuation in the MACD that I'm seeing here with darker red candles on the histogram. They are crypto? Okay, I'm gonna have a look. If they're not crypto, I'm gonna mute you here in the chat. So let's see, because I've never heard about them. Okay. Okay, you might be spared. Oh, actually, now I remember I have seen this when I got listed on BYBIT. I actually remember that one now. The acceleration, bam, bam, bam for Bitcoin, back down. So let's have a look here. Clear resistance in this zone here once again, all the way down here. So like two is how big? No, this might be too big. So, but like here, that's like the area that we got rejected in. 267 to 287 basically, and then underlying support. So this is ahead of the curve actually, with many other coins right now. In terms of cooldown of indicators, that might be one of the coins that will be also one of the first movers when we go back up. So maybe you should put this on a watch list, just in case, you know. So and have maybe some alerts on this. So let me see here. Yeah, so this is where I would place that. $2, $2.19-ish is where I'm gonna see this coming down to. So there's a small level here. There's like where I would start nibbling. 227, like 10%, you know, allocate there, and then it would breaks below that level more into it. How does it look like on a weekly chart? Oh, yeah. So once it breaks above that red zone, I think it's gonna send really hard. Oh yeah, actually TRX was one that I wanted to look at. So also here, oh wow, it did not even go that high. Daily, so let's see here. What's going on here? Wednesday. Can I do this? Yeah, I can. So then here, yeah, that's kind of like the resistance area that we're looking at for TRX right now, and we're getting rejected in. So, but let me see here. No, I thought I saw here something. It's actually not the case. So here there's like again a target where you can nibble a little bit, because it will have like a relief bounce from there. That should be definitely now strong support, but I still think that we're gonna break below that when you see a Bitcoin dropping properly down. So, but here like allocating 10% just in case that it's gonna send from there, I don't see a big issue with that, you know. But then on the way down into that green box, you should keep adding more, you know, like here at 32 cents, 40, and then here 31, yeah, basically 32 cents, and then when it lands in that green box, the rest. So what's going on over there on all the time? Got already bitten here again by a mosquito. I hate all the mosquitoes here all the time. Okay, so this is what this is. Is it not gone? I have to move this to a different window. Sometimes, you know, I get stuff sent that I want to look at, and then I'm just gonna move this over here. Let's see, what is this? No. Maybe I'm gonna take advantage of that later. So let me go back here. Actually, I did not see that. I should have brushed my hair a little bit. It's fine. Up. So let's go back here. What was that VVV? Let's see, what is VVV doing? Oh, actually, before I do that, let's have a look here with TRX. Basically from here to there. Golden ratio would be here on that initial move. at 33 cents ish. Yeah, but I still think it's gonna head lower than that. It's actually a little bit weird. So, because I rather want to look at this from this perspective here. Oh wait, the other way around. So here from swing low to swing high, because that was not even taking out that swing high. See here, that green box is exactly the golden ratio. That's why I have that box there where it is. Before I even drew that Fibonacci retracement. You know, that's the first time that I actually do that. So let's have a look here at the VVV. How things are looking over there. I really thought VVV is like a stock. That is doing well here on the 1 hourly, but sorry, on daily, but looks also like it will get rejected here from that resistance block. Because look here how we are flatlining on the stochastic, and the RSI is getting overbought. But the, even with the momentum here on the MACD, as long as there's not like major lower time frames still pushing, see a 15-minute toppy, 30 toppy, everything is screaming besides the 4 hourly that it's about to top out. So here in 1 hour, it'll be an hour 20 from now. You know, so most likely, the next 4 hourly candle or the following one will make here a U-turn and push it down. So, but I think the next 2 hourly candles can maybe push past that resistance just to trap liquidity, you know. Just gonna send it up to fake it out back to the downside. And then the question is where you want to buy back, you know, or where you want to start building a position. So, and there's like a clear zone from where you can do that. And then I can look again with like the retracements. Fuck, I think I need to do quick something here about the mosquitoes. I have like the feeling there's this time more than one here. There's usually only one flying around here, but I think now it's like definitely more. That means I have like almost like here, like a tennis bat, you know, like an electrical tennis bat to get rid of them. Let's see if I can somehow hit them. Shit. I actually never caught a mosquito with this thing, so I don't know what it's gonna do. It's like a big like bam, you know, like zap, or it's just a small bzzzt. I don't know, you know. So I bought this like a while back, but I've never until now had a chance to zap anything with it. Yeah. Of course now, wherever that mosquito is, or both of them, they're not around my table anymore. So, zone, buy zone, here. There. It's like $13, $14, that's where I see this coming down to. I hate this. These mosquitoes. And then from there to there. Yeah, again. Green box exactly here in that golden ratio. Makes it a highly likely target here when it comes down. No, I don't want to try put my finger on it. Maybe I should do it with my tongue, you know, even better. Try with my tongue. Like when you were kids, you know, you did this like on a plus and minus pole of like batteries, you know, of these battery blocks. There, rejection. I think I'm going to add a little bit more now. Not much, because I want to add later more. But like from 580, 25%, it's like 125, 145. So I want to add here 145. And when is the next candle closing? Like 5 minutes. So I wait for the 15-minute candle to close. Yeah, so but if that is not turning green, that looks like a nice bearish continuation here. It should not actually influence my entry price too much. Let me actually do half first. Let me do like 75. Oh no, this is like 72.5. I want to see what does like 72.5 to it. $70 down from my entry. That's fine. It's not crazy. How much more money do I make? Oh, that's not bad. So, but now I'm gonna wait. I have actually here some spray, you know, for these stupid mosquitoes. Like these aftercare sprays, you know, that it first of all stops itching and then also preventing them from biting you again. It's like a huge thing here in Asia, you know. Normally, like every girl has a bottle like that in her bag. At least all the locals, you know. When I was like sitting in a bar, all the locals had one. Oh fuck! I also forgot something. Yeah, I have to do this. Fuck yeah. Shit, I need to message somebody. Okay, so I need still to go somewhere after the stream, not now. So I just remembered about this. I was like, oh, I forgot something. I still need to go somewhere today. I almost forgot about it. So, but that looks good. You know, like another minute 30-ish or something, what it is. So that is your bearish confirmation candle for continuation. If it keeps staying that way, that it is. So guys, any other coins that you want me to look at? So there's like, in terms like of longs, there's nothing that I would look at to be longing now. You know, so the only thing that we could do is looking for shorts if you want to short. But again, I don't really like to short. Even though I'm here in a short right now, I really, really don't like it, you know, in an uptrend like that, to do it. I rather sit on my hands and let price come down to the levels where I see it coming down, you know, and then long from strength again. Sorry. Oh wow, did it also catch me now on my back? Come on. Oh no, it's fine. That would have been more annoying. Guys, give me more coins. So I need to go that day, also coming back. So in the meantime, I actually look to book my flight for Thursday. Yeah. Oh, actually, ooh, that is not bad. So what is here? It's going on with that? Cheapest. Oh wow. No, that is fucked. That is also fucked. But yeah. Actually, it would be the. Oh no, this is like. This is horrible. No. Oh yeah, Phantom Sui. Yeah, definitely something that we can do now. Phantom and Sui is actually good to look at this. Honestly. Might be that one here. I have to take. Is there really not another one? No, it's like the only one. Shit. Yeah, I have to do that one then. Okay, so let's do Phantom and Sui. It's actually a good idea. So here, let me go Bitcoin over here. So then there. Ah, come on. Sui is still fighting with that downward sloping trend line. I still think it's gonna get rejected from there and comes back like to 70 cents ish. If it breaks below that and goes like back here to the bottom of it to 65 cents, it would be even better, you know. But I think the way that this is looking like, it's like 70, 72 cents here on the way down, and then it will keep going. And the main key target, the first one, the major one, is here close to $1. You can basically say it's $1. It's like 96 cents to like here $1, or this is $1.04. So when it gets above that, you're gonna get a moonshot. You're gonna get here something similar, like this candle. When it gets here above $1.05, it's gonna send straight into that resistance here at $1.30. So you're gonna see it. There will be like a 15, 20, 25, 30% move in one daily candle in Sui when it breaks here above $1.05. Yeah, it would be like 25% from $1.05 to $1.30. So then, what was that on Phantom? Let's see. Did you guys see that the founder jumped off his balcony? You know, so he did not jump himself. You know, somebody helped him to jump off the balcony in Paraguay. Let me have a look again. 10-10 week. So you're right. All the way to the bottom? No. So, but like to the upside, yeah. I see Sui going back up there. Like, not like tomorrow or like this year, you know, but like next year potentially. No meme coins, guys. Not so many meme coins. So, but like Phantom. Honestly, since they renamed it, it went to shit, you know. They should have never renamed it. It was doing well under the name Phantom. And when they rebranded it, immediately went to shit. It's the same with like Matic. You know, Matic also never recovered from renaming themselves to Pole. You know, same shit. So here it's also like at a key resistance right now. Yeah, that area getting rejected from there. So if I would, I have the feeling like this mosquito's flying around my ear now. So I'll take it from there. Yeah, that makes sense. So the golden ratio is basically lining up exactly with like a support level that I was already eyeing with. It's basically, no, I would not make this that whole zone. Let's make it a little bit smaller. Like here, this, there. So that is like the level where I see this coming down to. Yeah, 2 cents free, 2 cents 5. Yeah. So that's where I see it going down to. What's this again? Oh, okay. So, but yeah, Sonic looks like that it will come down here. Let's see a 12-hourly chart. Yeah, it looks also like that. This is like a rounding top. Let me draw here this maybe like with a curve. So see that? You can basically draw it like a dome. That's why it's called a rounding top. You know, because it kind of has like the shape of a dome. And then it starts turning around and goes down. Anything else? So otherwise I go here back to Bitcoin for a moment. I want that 15-minute candle that we're seeing here go down. I will keep adding to my position. If it goes higher, I don't care. Let me see here on this 5-minute chart. Tell me you're running out of steam. Oh yeah, look at this here. Stochastic 15 minutes. That's what I meant, you know. That's why I would not chasing this Bitcoin pump now. Because it looks more like that's going to roll over as soon as the next 15-minute candle closes. And then you're going to see here on the other time frames slowly making here turn like this. Here you see it a little bit on the 30-minute on the RSI already. How it's like curling around here. So what other coins can we look at here? I'm thinking about what other coins for this run are ones that I would like maybe to further explore. Oh, sorry guys. Not meme coins, but like in general other coins that will do pretty well in this run. Let's see, what do we else have here on Alpha X that might be good? And general revenue generating. So that's, oh, actually Link. You know, Link is something that we can have a look at. How do they manage to bite me here? When I was right. That stupid mosquito was flying around me on my ear and bit me on my shoulder. Where is that beast? There was no zapping, there was me hitting. But on top of that, oh, who did this? I'm wondering why I get here eaten alive from mosquitoes, and there's like one of the sliding doors to the garden was like a little bit open. You know, it's like free entry for everything, you know. For all insects. I'm like, what the fuck? Because I did not do that. Crazy. Yeah, I can have a look again at Hype. Thinking what other stuff did I have here to get rid of this shit. See, a Hype is so strong, you know, but I still think it needs to pull back a little bit eventually. see here. Yeah, so here's for example something really interesting with hype. This looks like, when I look at this right now, it looks like it will keep going. It will keep going higher. So, but the problem is when Bitcoin turns around, this also turns around, regardless of what the indicator is showing you right now. You know, so this is for me, from my perspective right now, just another like market maker trap, you know. Where they make you believe a coin like this will go higher, you know, and then they're gonna push it a little bit higher, and then they crash Bitcoin and crash this also straight with it, you know. So here it's like $82.50, you know, maybe it will get here back to the top of like 84, you know, so but I don't really see it pushing past $84. Because in the meantime, Bitcoin should have rolled over already. Yeah, no, you know what I really need? I saw this recently. I think, where did I see this? I think on Twitter or on TikTok. In China, they have basically small laser guns, you know, that you put in your garden and they shoot then the mosquitoes down. You know, you basically create a grid with it because you buy more than one. And then they zap them, you know, immediately when they get like through the laser beam, they get zapped. Like when that laser catches the motion of the mosquito. Yeah. So that's what they officially said. He fell from, he jumped from his balcony, you know, but he did not jump himself from the balcony, you know, somebody helped him to jump from the balcony because his apartment was completely trashed before the police got there or anybody else. So if you tell me that like he was not a billionaire, you know, I know he was not a billionaire, but like people that have more than like $100 million net worth are getting considered like billionaires, you know, even though they don't really have $1 billion. So he had like 50 to like $200 million, something like that, maybe a little bit more, you know. Somebody with so much money, you know, especially if they're having a good life and they have not any depressions and they're actually busy, still keeping themselves like entertained and busy, they don't kill themselves, you know, they don't jump off a balcony, you know, in like the most luxurious building in the country. So it's just not happening, you know. I looked up the tower that he was living in. You cannot even rent a place there. You have to buy one. You know, there's no Airbnb, nothing. You either buy a place there or you cannot live there. You know, that's what it is in that building. So, and that is already surprising because in most of the buildings in the world, in like the most prestigious towers around the world, you can normally short-term rent, you know, or generally rent an apartment. In this place, you cannot even rent a place. You have to buy it, you know, to get in. Yeah, kind of Iron Dome. Let me actually, just for fun, let me see if I can find this now. Chinese mosquito laser zapper. That's already there. Let's see here. Oh, I found it. So in this even with AI. So let me show it to you guys here. So yeah, so this was posted on Facebook. Yeah, look at this. See here. Boom, boom. Isn't that not amazing? You put this in your garden and you never have a problem again. So yeah, but it's like a problem they can right now because they don't have like a huge like manufacturing production line for it. They can only make 800 a month, you know. So now imagine how many people want to buy this. So I want to buy immediately like 20 of them, you know, and put them all around, you know, that I will not get bitten anymore because I get bitten all the time when there are like mosquitoes around. come on, turn around here. When I saw another version of that, there was more like a small cube. So let me see what's going on here. Come on, Bitcoin. Oh, actually, 1 hourly kind of close. Let's see. How's that looking now? Yeah. I think there was just a bearish retest here of like $79,300 and slowly rolling over now. Let me actually check this here again. Okay, no answer yet. So I need an answer. I can go there quickly. So, whoa, what's going on here? What's that? Okay. Dum. I'm gonna read something here later. It is commercially for sale. Like I said, there's different versions of that. You know, I've seen another one that was commercially already for sale, and that was more like, it looked like half of the size or like a third of the size of like a garden lantern. So do I have here something? No, I have right now nothing standing around here. Oh, maybe here for my, like, in-ear monitoring, like here that size, you know. So let me actually need to pull this up. Like that size here, you know, in height and width, you know. So that's like what I was looking at. So I put this here next to my head, you know, see it, or my hand. See, it's not so big, you know. And then like half of the box, you know, like this. No, I'm bad at this. So yeah, I kind of like this, basically. So that like that kind of cube, you know. That's that's how like the other version of that looked like. So and that was the one that I was actually interested in. So let me see again. Oh yeah, here. I can even find this already here to buy. Let me see. Can I here not say somewhere? Show me like all of them. No, this is just a lamp. What does it say? Mosquito trap? It's like for farmland, I think, is that. Wow, but why is this $800? I think this like this is like a fusion reactor to catch mosquitoes, you know, for $800. What I'm looking here at is looking a little bit crazy. Let me see if it's here under shopping. That thing that I originally saw. That's a part. Here's like mostly lamps. Just lamps to catch them. But I did see like this different version of a laser to catch. So let's see what Ethereum is actually doing. Still nothing. Still absolutely nothing. And here, that's like your other indication. You know, that Bitcoin is not going anywhere. Look at this. The EMA ribbon is pushing down. And here's something, especially for people that are new here. I don't know how many of you are new here in general. And I consider new like you basically watch me for the last 3 months or something. The EMA ribbon, you see at the upper string, the yellow one, that's here on top. That is support when price is above that whole ribbon. So now you see that this yellow ribbon is moving to the lower end. Sorry, that the yellow string is moving into the lower end of the EMA ribbon. And that is happening when we are flipping back into a downwards trend. You know, so once the ribbon flips here, like over there, so here's actually a good example of this. See how slow the yellow string is here going into the ribbon until it actually comes down on the bottom, you know, and it's then sitting on the bottom of it. That's happening when price is pulling back, you know, and going back into a downtrend. And you see here now exactly that happening. You know, the yellow string is coming into the EMA ribbon. So, and as long as price cannot get above the EMA ribbon here again, you will not get continuation. You know, so even if you get like one candle above this here, I think the next one comes straight back down. You know, it will be again just a bearish move here above it. But for now, you see here, you can clearly see they try to push above the yellow ribbon. They cannot. You can zoom in here a little bit more. And you see here, bears try to push them here level by level in these strings below each string, you know. And what they're going to achieve by that is once price is below the ribbon, that the yellow one, the yellow string will keep pushing lower, you know, until it is here on the bottom side and flips the EMA ribbon, and then we are in a downtrend. Then you're going to see that move. So, oh, what are you guys doing? The cats are sitting here so funny. I wish I could show you guys. I'm going to make a quick video. Are you watching how I make a stream? Yeah, it's interesting. It's like cat cinema. The way that you are sitting there. He was trying to escape. What is it called again? Through the screen. Fully tried a prison break here. Okay. Up. So guys, anything else I should be looking at? Because otherwise I might gonna run here soon. Not immediately, but soon. I also need to think about how I'm gonna get there in a moment, but I think I'm not gonna drive myself. I'm not gonna drive myself. Yeah, remember I said earlier I have to go somewhere because I forgot about it. This is so smart. Let's see. See here what I mean with like the EMA ribbon? Pushing it below it. Not really trading stocks. I explained it yesterday, you know, so for stocks, it's way more complicated in the sense of information that you need to absorb, you know, about a stock. Because they have like earning calls, they have like earning reports and all that kind of shit, you know, and you need always to be up to date with that. Because if you just trade on technicals with stocks and then there's an earnings call and the earnings call is bad, but technicals said we should go up, you can throw it out of the window. You know, the stock goes down, you know, after a bad earnings call. And they don't go like a little bit down, they go down like 7, 8, 10, 12, 15%, you know. So it's just like too much research for me that I need to do if I would be trading stocks. Because crypto, I know so much about crypto that it's for me not work, you know, to do that when something is happening, because I'm so on top of that. You know, now to play catch up, to get to the same level, to do it with stocks, you know, I just don't have the nerve for it to do it, you know. So the only thing that I would do is like invest in stocks is different. You know, I would just buy like certain stocks, invest in it, but I would not like actively go and trade stocks. And there we go. Typical rejection from the EMA ribbon. Let's see how this... Oh, actually I can close that. I don't need this anymore. 77,200. Oh wait, my EMA ribbon is over here. I was just like, where's the EMA ribbon right now? Yeah, so I'm really not interested in like trading stocks. But I have friends that are actually doing well with that. So but I always tell them like, yeah, I let you trade your stocks, let me trade my crypto, you know. No, also not trading Forex. But I could trade Forex, you know, so I'm not interested in it too. You know, so I was for like a really, really short time trading gold. So I was a really, really short time. Like a couple of weeks when I was still living in Dubai. What's this then? So, yeah, it is.
Oh wait, what is happening here? Ah, too bad.
I told you guys, I told you that there is bearishness coming. Was I too early? Yeah, I was too early, but I was not wrong when I called it the first time. But I saw it coming. So let's look. Actually, for this, I want to go back here. See, even here on the 5 minutes, still did not went here above this with that cluster. So they're just moving it down gradually, really slow, really slow, and it gives you the impression. I know exactly why they're doing it. It's like a mindfuck game. What they are doing, they're giving you the impression at any given moment it could do this here again. And then in the end, it's not going to happen. What's going to happen is this. All right, I'm going to grab a new drink quick. I think I need to hire in my new villa, like an assistant that that brings me everything. When I'm like streaming. And I need anything, like Coke or a different kind of Coke, or something to eat. I'm joking. Yeah, exactly. So I'm not even looking so much at like what other people are saying, So I just look based on my own experience and what I see in the charts. And when I've basically made up already my mind and have my opinion where we are going, then sometimes I just look around, Then I look around, okay, what are other people thinking? Is there like consensus or whatnot, So and then I just look, I don't really judge then, okay, they agree with me, they don't agree with me. Because in the end, you see how the price is developing, So was I a little bit also wrong to like close some of my longs too early, because I was cautious? Yes, I could have made way more money on the way to the upside. But again, if you think always this like, oh no, I missed like this crazy trade, so like there's always another trade, so I don't care, so I said this so many times now. On the way back down, when we come back down from these levels that we are going to bounce back to the upside, that's where I open then even bigger positions than I did last time, and then I have way more confidence to hold them past $80,000 than I would have had now on the way up. For only I'm not really interested in the 4-hourly close that much, to be honest. I'm more interested in what's happening here on the 30 minutes chart with the EMA ribbon. Because here, when you get candles wicking to the upside and to the downside, it just shows indecision in the market, you know, but it can also be a sign of losing momentum. Because otherwise, price will just keep going higher, you know. But now you see here that we're losing momentum after that reversal candle, you know. So now that candle even potentially turns bearish. So and then let's say it closes the way that it exactly looks right now. So this is again a topping candle, you know, topping candle formation, and will send us lower. It would stay exactly the way it is, you know. This is like exactly like over here, these two candles, and then we went lower. They could just do this again, you know, print here a topping candle in that area and send it lower. And this time for good, you know, that we stay here below $78,300. Huh? What's that? No. I should check also when my gym opens again. They're renovating since May, and I want to go back so bad. I'm gonna check out in a moment what's happening with there. But thank you, that's still 70 people hanging out here after like 2 hours now. I hope that today's stream will perform again a little bit better. But I think yesterday was not as good as usual because of that stupid audio problem with like the song track that they punished me for, even though I had like the license and everything. Even on Twitter, when I complained about this, they basically were like shrugging shoulders. So, yeah, we don't know, you know, what you should do, you know. Really annoying. Let's see. This guy again. So, 5 minutes. Oh, 1 second. Yeah. This is funny. Oh, that's looking good, you guys. So let's have a look at this. Yeah, thank you. It's just experience, you know, just experience. But I would have liked to see this kind of go a little bit lower to form here another evening star formation, you know, these current 3 candles. For this, you need like this current candle, that 30-minute candle, to push way, way lower, at least to like 78, 800, like another $200 down. Cancel will happen in the next 3 minutes, but doesn't really look like it to. That would be nice. Yeah. If I want to do this here. So in the meantime, while we wait here the next 2 minutes, I'm gonna book quick a flight for first day. Just gonna take like a minute. It's quick. What, like, I hate when they change here the language. I cannot read anything anymore. I will be so fucking tired again. This bullshit. Come on, move lower. Yeah. Don't need this. Continue. Don't need this. It's charging me unnecessarily bullshit prices again. Next. Wait. Ah, yeah, okay, that's fine. Just, yeah. Boop. Okay, so. Oh wow. Yeah, but this looks now like a spinning top. Oh, like speaking and reading is like different, you know? So like I can speak fluently 4 languages, but I can read, I think I can read, I would say 7, 8. Like if you ask me how many I understand, it's way more than that, you know, because so many languages are correlated or similar to the languages that I already speak, you know. Because that was the one smart thing that I did. I only learned world languages. So. Oh yeah, that's because that is still there. Okay, so let's make this that. Yes, don't send me any of this bullshit. Okay, new Canadair, flight booked. Just waiting for the confirmation. Yeah, I understand. Come on. Why is that taking so long? Oh, I actually see here, you know? It's the first time in a long time that I have it like white on that other screen where I watch like the Bitcoin price all the time. I need to clean this again. I don't want to know how the other ones are looking. Oh shit, this is bad. Okay, ID check.
Yeah. Okay. So now I'm gonna try again. No, I tried this. Everything worked. Okay, what was the problem? Payment did not go through. Why? Let's try to figure out what the issue was. Transaction here. There. Why did it fail? Huh. Let's try again. Without. Next. I don't want anything. Leave me alone. Next. Take the risk. Next. Yeah, no, everything is correct here. I thought for a second I made a mistake here somehow with the payment, but I actually didn't. So let's try this again. Let's see, I was just looking at a 50 minutes chart. Yeah, there it flipped already to the downside. Ah, okay, that was the issue. Done. Yes. Good. So what you see sometimes here on a 50 minutes chart, or in general, when the EMA ribbon flipped, just when it flipped, you get a bearish retest where it goes above it, but it's basically just a bull trap, you know, and then it gets rejected and keeps going lower. So and that's what I'm expecting here. So yes, everything correct. Okay, I got my flight. Really not looking forward to that. I hate to do this. But I will be back same day in the evening. So, what are we gonna do now, guys? See is something going on? No. What's this? Oh, a month ago. Huh. 85. What's going on here? Okay. So guys, let's have a look again at the Ethereum. What's this doing? Nothing. So I want to see maybe Solana. See a hype also getting now weaker. Again. That's why I didn't want to trade it. So where is here? There, Solana. 4 only. They might make a triple top. So Bitcoin tries to run here a little bit higher. I could imagine triple top. One top, second top, triple top, close to like $100, maybe slightly above that. And then it goes down. Yeah. But I think bears are setting here a trap now on Bitcoin. But I can do whatever I want, you know, because I don't see, you know, here in terms of my liquidation, that we go now here to $93,000 and liquidate the whole challenge account. Oh, but I see them pushing. I see a push. If they push it back to my entry, I'm gonna add more money. And then everybody that missed the trade can take it too. So that's basically what I'm waiting for. I was waiting for a while for this actually, because I had a feeling that I might push it back there. Oh, come on. I'm not so far away from that. So, but then, in my ribbon, so there. Look at this here, how that it gets rejected from the EMA ribbon. And then within an hour, it does this. So, but here on the 50 minutes chart, so that was 30 minutes. In the 50-minute charts, the next 3, 4 50-minute candles should push it back down. And then we finally start going for all this liquidity below us. So what, I was here. I think I'm gonna add here another 100, what was it, 70, yeah, 72, 75, it's like what I had earlier. I'm gonna add here another. No, Pump. I'm again. I do not do a lot of meme coins. You know, I'm not gonna check on Pump. I think Pump is like a massive scam coin. Like with all the shit that I pulled in the past, you know. So I'm definitely not supporting a coin like that. I'm not saying it cannot perform, you know, over the next couple of months. Just like so, one of the coins that I'm just not like, you know, to even chart on. Personally, and also then on top of that, not trade. You know, I'm not trading that shit coin. I would rather trade like Pepper or something like that before I touch that. It's like the same with like Crow, you know. So, but with Crow, some of you know I have told the story before because I have some history with them. I know from 10 years ago when they launched the project, when it was not named Crow, it had a different coin name. You can look it up. It was called Monaco Coin. And I know because I was at the time living in Paris. You know, so they were, obviously they were in Monaco, that's why it was called Monaco Coin. They had to rename it. The official story was they had to rename it because the Prince of Monaco complained that they infringe on like the brand and the copyright of Monaco. They're not allowed to do that. The real reason was a totally different one, and that was that they got caught that they spent investors' money on themselves. You know, and not only that, that was not the main reason, sorry. The main reason was 3 out of 4 founders of Monaco Coin were linked to credit card fraud. That's what it was. So they found out that 3 out of 4 founders were convicted for credit card fraud. So and then they rebranded to Crypto.com and changed out like the people that were like convicted, you know, with like some nominees, you know, basically front people that are running everything now. But like in the background, the original 4 people are still running the show. You know, like this is like one of the reasons why I personally never touched like anything from Crypto.com, because I know who is running the show behind the curtain. You know. So and you can look that up. You know, the only thing that you don't find anymore is actually that article. You know, that I had it in my hand. It was like printed, you know, in like the print media, and I had it like in the newspaper, you know, where I read this in the bull run 2017. So, but you can look it up, that story with like the cover story with like, oh yeah, Prince Albert said we cannot have a project named Monaco Coin. You can still find that, you know, that that was the official reason why they had to rename themselves. And there was like another name in between, you know, it was like they went from Monaco Coin to a different name and then to crypto.com. I have a lot of stories like about like shady companies like that I'm not ever gonna touch. You know, Ledger is another one. You know, where I, and they're like at Ledger, I know like the big guys. You know, I know like Eric, you know, the founder of it. I know like the core staff that was working in like the exchange office that they had. You know, where Eric was every single day in the basement mining crypto. So I know like I know so much shit about these companies, and like that's like another reason, you know, why I never had a Ledger, you know, because I know what he actually did in Paris. And also why he had to leave Paris and to move to Dubai, you know, on top of that. Eric is not going back to France usually anymore. He's scared to go back. And I know why. No, nothing about DOT. At least nothing like crazy like I know about Ledger and like Monaco Coin, you know, and crypto and like crypto.com and stuff like that. So, but to be honest, at the time, you know, when like all this happened, because it was like almost 10 years ago, you know, I had like no connections, no influence. I was just like at the right time, at the right place to basically know about all this stuff, you know. Was not like that I had like some insiders like telling me this, you know. I was like literally there when like all this shit went down, and that's how I knew about it. So I have no idea. You know, there's so many coins all the time out there. I don't even know what XPR is doing, you know, so to be honest. I know it's doing well chart-wise, you know, every now and then when I see it, like when I scroll like through coins, and it's pumping every now and then, but I'm not really following what they're doing, you know, so I would need to look into that. Let's see, 50 minutes. Oh, good, 20 seconds. Let's see what the next 50-minute candle does. So, but to be honest, guys, I'm here now almost 2.5 hours again. So I only came so long tonight because I did not make a video, you know. So I got up quite early today, and then I don't know what happened. Like it was like lunchtime, something like that. Around lunchtime, I got so tired. I lay down again. Was oh yeah, maybe like in an hour or two I make the video. I slept until 4 p.m. You know, and then I woke up. I was like, yeah, I will not make a video now anymore. You know, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna make like a longer live stream. But tomorrow, guys, I can tell you, I will be back with a video and a live stream. And then just for Thursday, I'm not sure yet what I'm gonna do in the evening when I get back. You know, it will be either one. But I tend more now to maybe make a longer live stream again when I get back. But it also depends on how tired I am, you know, when I get back from the airport. So, but guys, thank you so much for tuning in here to another stream where we are watching what the market is doing. I still expect here in a couple of hours that we're gonna see a proper turnaround. It can go closer to $80,000 one more time, but I still think it's gonna turn eventually. Yeah, thank you so much. Don't forget, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you again tomorrow.